Hey, it's Ryan from UpfitSupply.com, and in this video we're going to be installing the Pro Rack from Holman on our Ford F-150. Let's get started. All right, in the box you're going to find assembly and installation instructions from Holman. Make sure you reference this for the ultimate source of information. Of course, we're doing our best to follow this as well. I want to take a look at the parts list on the first couple of pages. You got your full hardware list, everything that should be included in the box. Just double check that you have everything that you need to complete the installation, because nothing can be more frustrating than getting halfway through and realizing you're missing a bolt or two. Now, this is a 2-box product, meaning you're going to have one box that's going to contain your side channels and then another box that has your feet and your crossbars in it, and those are going to be specific for your particular vehicle. There's also a variation of the side channels that is the forklift compatible side channels. We happen to have the standard side channels, but installation is going to be pretty similar if you do have those forklift channels for your particular truck. So let's get started by assembling our side channels. Now, Holman does include a tube of silicone, and in the manual they say anytime you are joining two channels together is you do need to do 2 little loops of silicone around those end pieces as they come together. It helps keep out moisture and just helps prolong the life of the rack because it is steel. You want to prevent water from getting inside and, inviting corrosion and rust to start on the inside of that tube so it can't dry out and things like that. So you want to make sure that you seal the ends when you are putting 2 pieces together. And then anytime you have hardware or a bolt going through the tube, you want to make sure that you do some silicone around that hole to keep out any moisture from getting in that hole as well. So we're going to be using this throughout the install. Another thing is, as you try and find your hardware to connect these side channels, is there's a lot of different hardware sizes in the hardware kit, but on the manual there's actually a size, should be the sizing indicator for each of those bolts, so you can hold up a bolt and see if it's the right size, and so on. So just make sure you double check that when you're doing this installation. Next, we're going to attach our side channels to our front tube. Again, we're going to use a sealant here around our tube ends, and because we are going through the tube here, we want to make sure that we do some sealant around where that bolt's going to go through. Next, we're going to attach the wind deflector to our front crossbar, and just want to show you what this looks like before I attach it. But there's these little straps like this. They're going to go into some pre-cut areas on the back of the deflector, and then it lines up with these 3 holes on the front of the deflector. There's just some Phillips head screws that you use to attach that right there. So this is the front edge of the deflector, this is the back. There's these little straps to go around the bar. All right, next we're going to attach our middle crossbar. This is adjustable, so you can put it where you want it. You're going to attach to the bottom 2-inch tube. And this is just 2 carriage bolts, 2 washers, and 2 nuts on each side. Again, you want the head of the carriage bolt to be facing towards the inside, so you have a nice smooth surface right there. Nothing's going to rub against it and damage your material or ladders or anything like that on top of the rack. Next, we're going to flip the rack over and attach our rear legs. So you're probably going to need 2 people to flip this over. Now you can tell the rear legs from the front legs, because the rear legs are going to have the little grab handle that are going to face towards the back, and then your little tie downs are going to face towards the side. So these are side specific. And again, you want to do your silicone 2 layers around the inside joint here, and then also on the outside to prevent any, because you are going through with hardware, prevent any moisture from getting inside this. So our bolt pattern here, it's going to be 2 bolts. You want to take your bolt, washer, through both holes, washer on the other side, and then your lock nut. Now, I just took a quick reference measurement between my two stake pockets, the forward stake pocket and the rear stake pocket on the truck, to give me a rough measurement of where I need to put these front legs. Then we're gonna attach our actual mounting brackets to the truck, get that final measurement, and tweak this forward mounting foot. But just to keep things simple, I'm gonna get this generally in about the 63-inch range from the rear foot to the forward foot. Then we'll attach our brackets and get that final measurement and make some final adjustments. Now, the way you attach the front feet is you're gonna have a bracket like this, kind of a strap. There's a little cutout on the top side of these feet, and this slides into that slot there, locks in place. It's gonna come around like so. It's gonna come through with your bolt on this side. Nut's gonna sit on the inside. We're just getting this loosely tightened for now for two reasons. Number one, we want to be able to shift this forward and backwards depending on our final measurements with the truck. And then also because we have to attach our crossbar, it actually sits in between these two front feet. Next, we're going to attach our crossbar in between these two front legs. You want to make sure that you use the hardware that doesn't have the thread lock on there. There's two bolts that look very similar. The ones without the thread lock are going to be what you're using for this step. Next, we're going to attach our mounting feet to the legs. Now, you're going to have two different sets of brackets that are going to be the same. They're just mirrored. And so you can see we have got a mirror here. This long part here is where you're going to attach the foot to the leg. And you want this to be on the inboard side or inside of the rack. So this is the orientation like this, obviously, while the rack is upside down. You do want these brackets to be pointing forward, and on the forward feet, they're gonna be pointing backwards like that. Now, this is where you're gonna wanna use those special bolts with the thread lock included on them, and you're just gonna use a flat washer with it. I'm just gonna loosely get these attached for now. We do want some adjustment in here so that as we're attaching it to the truck, we do have some room for movement. So just a couple things on the truck to prep before we bring the rack up here. First is if you have your caps in over your stake pockets, you want to go ahead and remove those. On the F-150, at least the short bed like ours, we do have little plastic clips. You just slide a flathead screwdriver under there, pull it out. This is what that looks like. Now up front on the short bed, this isn't the same for the 6.5 or the 8-foot bed, but there's no cap up here, so you want to make sure that you just cut away the part of this bed rail cap here to get access to that. If you happen to be using this same truck for your install, just a quick measurement, it is 3 inches from the front where the beginning of this little rectangle starts, and it is 1/2 inch from the inside. So you kind of start in that corner and then cut out your full stake pocket with just a razor blade or something like that. Another thing we're gonna do is just put a moving blanket over the cab here, just in case we accidentally drop it. It's gonna be a heavy rack to bring up even with 2 people. So I'm just gonna put a moving blanket over the cab, prevent any scratches and things like that. All right, next we're going to flip the rack back over and put it onto the truck. This is gonna be a 2-person job, or 3 or 4, to make it even easier. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. All right, one modification we're gonna do to the install is actually attach our rear takeout bar or our rear crossbar, just because it gives you something to hold on to as you're trying to lift this into the truck. I'm gonna attach that first. Does add a little bit of weight, but I think it's gonna be easier to lift this up. So just a note on orientation, the Holman logo is gonna be on the back of the crossbar, pointing backwards. And then you basically get to choose which point acts as a hinge. You can either have it open from the left and the right side is your hinge, or the opposite. We're just gonna make our right side the hinge, so we're gonna put in our hardware on this side, and we're gonna use the pin on the other side. All right, now with our rear crossbar attached, we're gonna lift it into the truck. Just for safety, we're gonna put in a couple of these clamps to hold this to the bed rail, keep it loose in place. Now we're gonna attach the feet to the truck itself, and Holman actually gives you a couple of different ways to do that. First is gonna be through a little stake pocket device like this, where this kind of clamps in underneath that stake pocket and holds that foot down. And then they also give you a little bracket like this, clamps underneath the bed rail, keeps it in place. And then there are also holes that you can drill through to permanently attach it to the bed rail. And just reference the installation manual. They kind of give you good, better, and best options on which route to go. We're gonna go what's considered a better option. We're gonna go through the stake pocket, and then we're also gonna use a bed rail clamp. We're not gonna do the permanent mounting option just because we don't wanna drill through our bed rail. So on our forward feet, we're gonna start here. One thing to just double check is you're gonna go through this elongated hole up here, kind of right closest to our upright, and that needs to line up with your stake pocket. You want to double check that with your stake pocket in the back. If you need to make an adjustment, hopefully you left this loose up here. Use a rubber mallet to, hit it this way, and get everything to line up. We already went through and did that, so all of our holes line up with our stake pockets, and we're just gonna attach it now. We're gonna go through here with a bolt. I'm gonna lift this up and thread this on underneath. First, I'm just gonna get it threaded, and then I will get it into the stake pocket. It may take a little shuffling to get it in there, but we are in place. Then I'm going to use this rearmost location right here. Don't have any conflicts with, sometimes your bed will have a little structure right here that will get in the way, and you'll need to use, a different location. But it's good practice to kind of have the furthest 2 points attached. And there's also 2 different sizes of these brackets here. This one's a little bit closer between our hole and our bend. You can see back on this one, it's a little bit further away. These seem to work better on the rear and this on the front, and it may vary a little bit depending on your particular make, model truck. I'm just getting these loose for now because I do have to lift up the rest of these feet to get in our stake pocket brackets. Now, the best-in-class solution for attaching your rear feet is going to be with this long bolt like this, like 8-10 inches long. You're gonna go through that stake pocket, and then on the F-150, you have to take out your tail light. I don't know if this is necessary on like GM models or other models, but here you're gonna drop this through, and then there's actually gonna be a plate up here with a hole in it that will line up with this bolt. And then you can go ahead and attach your washer and lock nut to that, secure it that way. So it's gonna secure it directly to the chassis or to the bed of the vehicle structure. So it's a best-in-class solution. If you've got an older model, you're just gonna use your standard little mount like this to attach to your stake pocket. Finally, we wanna tighten down everything that may be a little loose still. So we did keep these bolts attaching the feet to the uprights loose. So we want to use, this is a 19mm crescent wrench. You can reach under there, tighten those down. All 4 corners. We also want to tighten down these locations right here that we left loose so that we could have some adjustment in play. We want to tighten down all of our mounting feet now that everything's in place. Another thing you may want to do is just take a couple of measurements on everything, make sure that this rack is square on the vehicle and not crooked or anything like that. Sometimes that can happen when you are mounting everything. So go through and make sure all of our hardware is nice and tight. Finally, just making sure that everything's nice and square for our rear crossbar to swing out. Looks good. Another cool thing about this is you can lock this in the open position. There's a little hole right here you can use your pin in. That way it's not going to swing and close on you when you're trying to load something in there. Hit you in the head or knock the side of your pallet, whatever it may be. And that just about does it for the installation of the Pro Rack on our Ford F-150. Now again, these are going to be available in different vehicle-specific configurations. There's different lengths of the actual side channels depending if you have a crew cab, a long bed, things like that. And then same thing with your legs and crossbars are going to be a little bit different depending on your truck. So make sure you're doing a year, make, model search at upfitsupply.com to make sure you're getting the right Pro Rack for your truck. Now, if you're looking for this product or any other equipment to get your truck or van ready for work, be sure to check us out, upfitsupply.com. Again, my name is Ryan. Have a good one.